Newspaper columnist George Will called him the first national superstar. 100 years after his birth, Hofstra University held a conference about him, and they said he's still a major influence on subjects intellectual, educational, and cultural. Last year, the Smithsonian held an exhibit of photos and artwork about him, and the curator said he's the most famous American name in the world. I'm talking about Babe Ruth. His impact and legacy go far beyond baseball and sport and involves history, culture, the arts, business, and marketing. In fact, Babe Ruth was a marketing machine who set the mold. Any organization that wants to build a name for itself, sell a product, or deliver a service can learn from him. He smothered America with his presence at a time when there were no computers, no internet, no social media or iPhones, not even TV. But he made himself a legend, and there was more to it than myth. Now, Babe Ruth had many faults. He was born dirt poor. He had no formal education or family to speak of. His childhood was right out of a Dickens novel. He was rough around the edges, but people could identify with him. And he also had many virtues: honesty, charity, and a complete sense of unselfishness. There was no pretense, none at all. Now, in World War II, when Japanese troops stormed U.S. Marines, their battle cry was "To hell with Babe Ruth." It was the most insulting thing they could say to Americans. But how could a baseball player command such respect? Easy. He had a brand, but he was more than that. Last fall, Norwegian Airlines put his image on the tail fins of their jets serving U.S. destinations. They call it their American Heroes program, and he was the first. Why? An executive said, he inspired millions. There's a company in Indiana that represents dead celebrities and their estates for sponsorships and promotions. And Babe Ruth is their single biggest client today, 70 years after his passing. He is easily the #1 commodity in the billion-dollar industry of sports collecting. In 2012, his old Yankees jersey sold at auction for, are you ready? $4.4 million, a Guinness World Record. He is a brand that continues to generate recognition, which is why companies like IBM, Sony, Citibank, Nike, Adidas, Mercedes-Benz, and countless others use him to sell products. Think business value proposition. In business, we all want safety, security, and sustainability. Babe Ruth delivered all that big time. But more than anything, we want trust, and he hit that one right out of the park. What can we learn from him? A lot.